What? The All-Pro JAFFOs in the fucking morning? Oh, it's happening, people. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the All-Pro JAFFOs, bringing you the highly elevated sports talk with a highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host, JP.
Hey, yo.
And with me, as always, 6'10" beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
And the baddest, greatest DJ in the entire fucking world, Mr. DJ Mad Sticks.
Nobody tells DJ Request what to do.
And well.
Yep, your Niners lost again. Well. We're going to start the show off with that. Talking all that shit a couple weeks ago, and they been getting their ass whooped ever since. Kid don't want to wear that dumbass shirt.
I wouldn't say ass whooped. Been close.
Off to Minnesota.
Well, see, and here's where I've been. I mean, I guess we're just gonna jump into it. I've been seeing, especially after the first loss against Cleveland, a few people, it's like, oh, did Brock Purdy ain't it? Brock Purdy's not that guy. See, that's the reason why he's last pick in the draft. Blah 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 blah. Brock Purdy didn't lose that fucking game. Okay. A third round pick by the name of Jake fucking Moody did. Okay? 2 field goals missed. Oh, and by the way, we'll get to the Vikings fucking game too. But in no way, shape, or form am I looking at this going, all of it is put on Brock. See, the Vikings game was one of those, he was doing pretty good. Fourth quarter came through those 2 interceptions. They weren't pretty. They weren't pretty. It wasn't like, it bounced off the receiver's hands or anything else. Like, no, they just weren't great throws. And watching the game going, the defense hasn't been doing shit all day long, minus Ward. Ward was pretty much the only one doing anything. And then he got fucking toasted by Addison. And then, once again, Jake Moody missing another fucking field goal, and CMC fumbling inside the red zone. There's all these different aspects on why the 49ers have lost these last 2 games. But I don't think Brock Purdy is one of those reasons. I mean, people will find any way to get the low-hanging fruit. Oh, see, that's why he's the last pick. That's why he's the last. Calm down. And most of the people who are saying this are people who don't have quarterbacks on their team themselves. So it's kind of like, all right, you can go ahead and talk when you have a quarterback that's actually doing some shit for you guys, Raider fans.
I mean, the Raiders quarterback took y'all to the Super Bowl, so that's first. Secondly, I ain't fully in agreement with what they're saying about Brock Purdy being a 7th-round pick because, I mean, he's decent in Shanahan's system. We ain't seen him nowhere else outside of college. His senior year, he looked like shit, so he's been pretty much
I think he's talking. I think he muted.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear me, Matt Six?
I hear you, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Josh is muted like a motherfucker. So, but like I was saying, like I mean, I understand the whole sentiment why people saying that what Josh is saying. I mean, my whole standpoint is, okay, Debo's hurt. You still got Kittle. Christian McCaffrey did his thing, but why are you relying on the rookie? Why not the guy that y'all say is supposed to be so good that took y'all to the NFC Championship, and the receivers that y'all so-called claim y'all had? What the fuck I've been saying the whole time. Y'all don't have no goddamn receivers. So Brock Purdy can be decent, or he can be good, or he can be great, but you'll never fucking know because they don't have no goddamn receivers. That's pretty much what the fuck I was saying. Debo got hurt, he's a dog, but you have no receivers. Like, simple and plain. When you needed Ayuk, his best game, the boy had like 75 yards, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not entirely sure. I ain't a stat guy like that. I don't know, but I remember looking, I'm like, yeah, 75 yards, but why he didn't just go off?
Mm-hmm.
They got 2 for 1s. Why he didn't go off? Why he ain't got a game? Like when Mike Evans got hurt, Chris Godwin had over 100 yards.
Yeah.
You
I
know
think I know
like
exactly what happened.
Chris Godwin's a number one. Like, so he had over 100 yards when Mike Evans got hurt. That's a prime example of the other guy that's supposed to be two number ones doing what the fuck we say he's supposed to be doing. So same thing with like Addison. That's what I was telling people about Addison. He showed last night exactly what the fuck I was saying. Jit is the deal. He went fucking off. And he pretty much proved what I said. The Niners ain't got no damn DBs. That's one. They don't have no fucking receivers. The last two games showed that because Ayuk ain't it. He's pretty much what I've been saying. He ain't it. He's not that guy. And Kyle Shanahan is fucked. That's pretty much what it is. If you don't have supreme talent around his fucking good scheme to make supreme talent do what supreme talent does, he just mediocre as shit. Simple and plain. And y'all gonna see these next 5 games is gonna pretty much show, is Brock Purdy really that guy? And that's coming from me having Brady and going to a Super Bowl. And it's like I got Baker now. Baker doing decent, but it's like I feel like I got a good stance to be able to talk shit about partners. You know what I'm saying? To go off your earlier point.
I just look at it this way. These two losses, like, again, in no way, shape, or form was I under the delusion that this team was going to go undefeated at all. But it was, I'm not going to sit, I'm kind of with you on it. Like, these next 5 games, we're really going to kind of see if Brock Purdy is kind of that guy, or did he, kind of, the air came out of the balloon and stuff. He's no longer flying high anymore. Yeah, but he had McCaffrey back. Kittle was doing okay, but when you look at the stats here, which I'm looking at right now, I mean, none of the receiving, George Kittle pretty much led in receiving, 78 yards, 5 catches. Brandon Ayuk had 5 catches for 57 yards, but Juwan Jennings had another 5 catch. It just, the offense wasn't necessarily, I mean, shit, even McCaffrey only had 45 yards rushing. So it was not a good day whatsoever for the offense. And
what was last game stats?
Against the Browns?
Yeah, because that's bite to bite. So that's pretty much what I'm
the
saying.
Browns
defense is good, but it's like I still feel like you blaming the kicker when in reality it's like where's the same?
Of course I'm going to think. Of course,
yeah, but why are you blaming a rookie? You're blaming a rookie when you had a guy that's supposed to be proven. You got a guy that's already proven. If any other situation, in any other situation, you would sit here and blame that quarterback. You would blame that quarterback for not leading because they got weapons. You again, this is your team. You believe you have weapons. So if you have weapons, why is not your guy
against the Browns? Against the Browns, McCaffrey didn't play. Debo didn't play. Against the Vikings, Trent Williams didn't play, as well as Devo and everything else like that. But when I'm looking at the Browns game.
These teams that y'all playing have critical guys out too. They didn't even have a starting quarterback. They didn't have a starting quarterback, and they didn't have a starting running back, and they still beat y'all. So I mean, Nick Chubb is a word beater at running back, and you know that. So come on, that's not an excuse.
Ford had 84 yards. Let me see here. Because I'm looking at here, if we would have, that last field goal that Jake Moody missed, obviously would have won the game, but he missed another field goal earlier in the game that we wouldn't have even had to worry about being behind.
Did Brock Purdy have 3 and outs that game?
Did he have any 3 and outs? I'm sure he did. I mean, fuck, I'm looking at the stats.
Did he have any picks? Did he have any picks?
He had 1.
All right, well then that's 7 points. If he had 3 and outs, you could add 14, 21, 28. You could add that up and stop blaming the kicker. He's a rookie.
Okay, he's a rookie, but if you're a fucking 3rd round kicker, that's supposed to mean you're automatic. That's kind of one of those things. If you draft a quarterback at the top 5 pick, he's supposed to be your starter. He's supposed to be the guy. That's what it's like when you draft a kicker in the 3rd fucking round, replacing somebody like Robbie Gould, who was golden, who was automatic from all he wouldn't have missed the shots that Jake Moody fucking missed.
Why y'all let him go?
And again, I don't know why we wasted a 3rd round pick on a kicker, rookie or not. I don't give a damn. All you do, and I'm not going to make excuses for kickers whatsoever. All you fucking do during practice is kick field goals. That is your job. That is the only thing that you do. However many kicks and stuff that you do at practice, you at this point, you should be a master of your craft. If you're going and missing 30-yard field goals, 20-yard field goals, Now I can understand you miss a 50+ yarder. That's a little more. That's a little bit more common. But missing 20, 30 yarders, no. Sit him down. Again, sit him down.
You
or
had
find somebody
16
else.
points. You didn't have 48. You had 16, meaning y'all did not manage shit prior to that kick. You blaming the kicker, but y'all didn't put up no points.
Yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. Like the offense struggled, but you can't sit here. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, hey, the offense was the only reason why they didn't win. No, the fact is, the kicker is missing field goals that he shouldn't have missed. Period.
Yeah, against a team that was on your ass. That same defense
team
was
that shouldn't
on
have
your
been
ass.
on our ass. The defense was playing like shit that game too. I'm looking at the box score right here.
The Browns defense was on your ass. And my thing is the same defense was on the field when he kicked that ball. Myles Garrett big ass for shows on the field when he kicked that ball.
So you think Myles Garrett being on the field made Jake Moody shit himself?
If Brock Purdy can't deal with Myles Garrett for 4 quarters, why are you expecting the kicker for 1 kick to deal with Myles Garrett? Hey, look, stop blaming this kicker, man. You're a rookie. Brock Purdy needs this blame. He got to take this blame. If this is anybody else, fuck that. If this is Baker Mayfield in that situation, best motherfucking believe you're blaming Baker. You're blaming Baker. You're blaming every fucking quarterback you believe that's trash. You're blaming them for that situation.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest, though. These last few, actually, since since probably about week 2, I've actually let up on Baker. A lot.
Again, the same thing like we said before. Like I said to you the last episode, we haven't been having episodes for even you to have that statement. If we was consistently having episodes, then it would make sense for that statement. But if the fact that we're not having consistent episodes of late, it's no reason to make that statement. We haven't been on here for you to even criticize Baker or even praise Baker.
I mean, I've been watching throughout the season, whether we've had consistent shows or not. I'm still watching the game.
That's inside your household. You're the only one that's feeling that way. No one else knows what you're talking about to even validate this statement. So I hear you, but come on. Like, reality is, any other quarterback in this situation, you give him blame instead of the kicker because they only managed to get 16 points. Granted, the Browns defense is amazing, but at the same time, those amount of weapons, that offensive line, and that coach with that scheme, you would blame the quarterback. For sure. You would blame Jimmy in that situation. If this was last season, you would say, fuck Jimmy, get him the fuck out of here. If he was in that same situation Brock just did last weekend and then even last night, you would say, get Jimmy the fuck out of here. Them last 2 games. And Brock just
I think I might be giving you're probably right, and I might be giving Purdy a little bit too much rope. So much that I might end up fucking hanging myself with it. But
for sure.
But right now, especially from what I've been watching, from what I've been seeing, can I place a good amount of blame on Purdy? Probably could. But can I also see where there are other things happening that are contributing to the bullshit that's going on the field? Absolutely. As far as these last 2 games, like I said, these last 2 games, the defense hasn't been doing shit. Nick Bosa got paid for what? Like he's putting pressures. That's cool. Where's the sack category? Where's the tackle for loss category? Where's all of that? Like, you can get pressures all you want. All you have to do is get within a fucking 2 yards of them, but that still doesn't mean shit. It's just you when you have all of this, and going back to like you said with Shanahan, I don't know what it is with some of these, especially playing down to the level of the competition that you're playing against. There's no reason why we should, after all those 30-point plus wins first 5 games of the season. Granted, they weren't against great teams, but even then, these are 2 teams that are nowhere near what people are saying you are when it comes to the 49ers. People are talking about 49ers being a possible Super Bowl contender, but that's hard to say when you're losing to team. Because, like, again, I wasn't impressed with the Steelers win. I'm not impressed with the Rams win. Definitely wasn't impressed with the Giants win. Cardinals win, absolutely not. Cowboys, we know what the Cowboys are. But then when you get to the Browns and Vikings, it's like, oh, hold on. The Browns and the Vikings are not, in my opinion, better than the teams that we beat. So I don't know if it like you were saying, I guess the Niners might have blown their fucking load the first 5 games of the season and then beating the Cowboys 42-10.
Y'all did it against the Cowboys for sure. That was it.
So now we're playing the Browns in Cleveland. Fuck. That's a loss there. Then the Vikings, Addison going off, Kirk Cousins giving another you like that game. And now this coming week, I'm going to be playing the Bengals and the Jaguars and the Bucks. Those 3 teams right there are better than all the teams that we've played so far.
Oh no.
So if we can't,
the Bengals garbage this year.
they're to me the Bengals are kind of one of they've always been that slow start team. They've always been that team, even with Joey B there. They've always started the first 3-4 games
this year. An injury plaguing him.
So what?
I said that injury plaguing him. He ain't doing shit this year.
That the curse of the big contract signing that seems to keep happening when players get paid this exuberant amount of money, making them like top 5 highest paid players of all time. What do they normally do during the season after they get paid? Not as good as what they got paid for. Everybody thought, or at least everybody in New York, oh yeah, $40 million to Daniel Jones. That's worth it. Is it? Is it now?
Yes.
Making Joe Burrow the highest paid quarterback. Okay. Makes sense. Been doing good, made it to a Super Bowl, lost. But now looking at Joe Burrow going, he gets paid, and now the production isn't there. And I don't know what it is. What is it about getting these big contract extensions that causes players to kind of drop off?
What? How did Joe Burrow drop off when he's hurt?
Here's what I think.
That's not a drop off. Like, so, and the thing is with Daniel Jones, my second opinion with this is Daniel Jones is in a situation where it's like, yeah, it was a good contract in the sense of they needed a quarterback, and Daniel Jones could have been that guy, but he has no weapons outside of Saquon. Yeah, they got a tight end, but that's it. Like, them receivers ain't worth a damn.
Yeah, but that
like,
tight
you
end
say what you want.
Waller is like, the dude can be good when he wants to play.
I mean, he could have beat the Bills, and they held him. So
it's the only thing they had. Holy shit, the Patriots beat the Bills?
Yep.
Fuck, I didn't
Yeah,
even
you
see
know
that
that?
until just now.
yeah.
So the Bills not the same this year either. There's a lot of teams that's not.
Yeah, Gadicke with the tight end from Miami, he won the game, the last second touchdown from Mac Jones. And it was 2 of the whitest celebrations you ever seen in your fucking life. I can tell you that.
The Jaguars beating the Saints.
Celebration.
Jaguars beating the Saints 31-24. Jaguars are looking pretty good this year, to be honest. The Raiders fans everywhere are upset. The Bears beat the Raiders 30-12 with their backup quarterback.
That was the best pickup I could have picked up. I picked up Freeman like 5 minutes before the game.
Oh, no,
went off. I was like, hell yeah. That was one of the best
yards and 2 touchdowns. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good pickup. Definitely a smart pickup. Then the Browns capitalizing. Well, I don't know. Yeah, capitalizing with a win after last week. 39-38. The Colts kind of kept it close. Uncle Rico was having a good game until that interception happened. He had 305 and 2 tuds with that one pick. Taylor, second game back, 75 yards and a touchdown. Patriots beating the Bills 29-25. Mac Jones having a pretty decent game with 272 and 2 touchdowns through the air. Giants beating the Commanders, which started Darren Waller, as I just said, Darren Waller's good when he wants to play. Apparently, this was one of the games he wanted to play because 98 yards and a touchdown, that's not a bad stat line for him. But this was the game that people are now wondering, is Ron Rivera going to have a job next year or a head coaching job with the Commanders next year? And is Eric Bieniemy really that guy that we all thought he was coming out of Kansas City? For me, I look at it going, well, Commanders don't really have, great weapons. They got Scary Terry, and that's kind of it. Oh, Dotson. Sorry. And
Robinson
minus those two
at running back.
Who's the running back?
Brian Robinson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but even then, I wouldn't even consider him he's probably one of their top weapons, but is he a starter on other teams?
Shit, a few.
What other team could he go to where he would be the starter?
The Broncos right now, they ain't got no running back. That boy Williams booty. That boy Williams ass, dog. He been letting me down every week. You hear me? Fucking shit.
Yeah, I drafted him.
To the Bucs too, because that boy Rashad said Ronald. I mean, Rashad is not doing a damn thing. That boy Rashad is not doing shit.
Okay, so I didn't watch this game. Okay, I'm assuming you did. 16-13 loss to the Falcons. What happened there?
They front line nice as fuck. They got Calais Campbell now with Jarrett, and then they got 2 nice ass D. Bro, got a deep ass D line. And then they play really well. Bijan didn't even play on thing. I didn't get a chance to watch it. It was blacked out on the West Coast, but I was like along with the game and seeing like clips and stuff like that when they post them and shit. NFL, YouTube, whatever, and on the Fox Sports thing, but
Bijan
Baker basically was he's just been getting plagued with like getting balls batted down, D lineman, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Batting the balls and shit like that. Like,
I mean, 275.
Like, I feel like we lost to the thing on Lions, and that one right there. Honestly, I feel like, to be all the way real, and this is a wild statement for me because you know how much of a fan I am of man, buddy. But Mike shouldn't have played against the doggone Lions. He should have sat that game and that kind of like hurt the flow of everything because he was trying to get back from the hamstring, and you can tell he can't do certain shit because of his hamstring. You know what I'm saying? So he should have sat at least one of them games, and then he probably would have been better for the Falcons game, I believe.
I mean, he still had 6 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown. That's not
It's not bad, but at the same time, it's like when you watch the game, like some of these drops that he would have caught that shit and like turned up. You know what I'm saying? If he was healthy or healthier, you get what I'm saying? Like he's healthy enough to play and be productive, but it's like, is he productive enough for us to win? And that's the kind of Mike we need right now. Unless be deep at receiver, you got to kind of let these young gunners go out here without having to split the carries with you. I mean, the touches with you for one of these games. And I felt like it should have been the Lions game. I know it was the creamsicle game they wanted to play, and that's why I feel like that's kind of what happened with a lot of these games. Now, to answer your question for the Falcons game, I want to call him Chris Christensen so fucking bad because that's what he looked like his name is. But Dave Canellis, he been kind of fucking calling some bland bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these plays and a lot of this system and shit like that been kind of bland. Like, and I don't know. It'll work. It's gonna work. It just we ain't getting no run. We ain't getting no run right now. So
that's where I had asked you. I mean, are you still content with the running back core you have?
My issue is no, I'm honestly I'm not, because everybody I'm be real, I didn't even know we signed Chase Edmonds. Like Dub told me that. And I was like, when he asked me that question, I was like, oh, was it Corey? I think it might have been Dub or Corey. One of them asked me that shit, and I'm like, damn man, we signed Chase Edmonds. Then I had to look real quick, and I'm like, oh fuck, we signed Chase Edmonds. This motherfucker ain't played yet. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and I don't fucking know. At this point, I'm more confused than a motherfucker, and I'm trying to get him faithful fucking exploding because this shit is really starting to get on my fucking nerves. Because it's like we could beat the Lions.
To be honest, with the roster that you guys have, I think you should be better than 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely should be better than 3-3, but we could have beat the Lions, but they I don't know, they just made a statement on us on that game, so I can't really call it on that. But this Falcons, we for sure could have won this game for as close as it ended up being, and how this shit end up turning out. Like,
yeah, because I mean, look,
it's
somebody fucking called me again. That's the reason why I couldn't hear. But I don't think y'all should be 3-3, especially 1-3 at home. That's tough.
I mean, look, we had Philly at home, and we had the Lions at home. So, I mean, I can deal with those two losses just based on how we lost to the Lions, point differential, and then just the morale differential. But if you really look at it, though, like Luke Gedeke, I want to give him credit because last year I was ready to put him in front of fucking goddamn Old Yeller. Goddamn it. I was ready to put him in front of Old Yeller. Old Yeller was going to be second, but Gedeke was going to be first. I was ready to but they moved him to tackle his natural position. Like, we drafted him and they put him at guard, and I was so fucking confused. But they put him at tackle. Honestly, they should have made the switch when we had Brady. This shit would have worked out because Buddy was he was handling goddamn Hutchinson. I said Addison. Aiden Hutchinson when we played the Lions. Because Rondé Barber does these film sessions and stuff like that with the Bucs, so I was able to see that because I didn't even pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been able to catch like highlights and shit like that. So, but a lot of this shit, dog, like it's some bullshit, dog. I don't know right now. And this is the problem it's like it's not Baker. Like, it's not fully Baker though. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, people can't blame Baker even if you watch the highlights. It's not Baker's fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have lowlights be like, oh yeah, he missed this throw, he missed that throw, like how Odell Beckham daddy did. You really ain't got that on this fucking goddamn shit.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I looked at it going 275, a touchdown and an interception. It's not like, I mean, it's kind of below average, but it's not terrible, you know, all things considered. But I think y'all should be looking for some sort of, I mean, I don't know what you would think about this, but apparently Derrick Henry's on the trading block. We know Jonathan Taylor's probably on the trading block. And the reason why I mentioned Jonathan Taylor is because I remember the conversation that we had when I told you, if you guys would have drafted Jonathan Taylor, you would be set at running back for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, but who did we end up drafting?
That's the thing. I don't remember at that point I don't know if it was that
the Tristan Wirfs draft?
I was just about to ask, was that the Wirfs draft? Might have been the Wirfs draft.
No. I think we worked out. He ended up getting Super Bowl champion. And he versatile as shit. Went to the left side. Hey, look. Oh no now. Got rid of some flack.
Matt Sticks had a comfortable week. You just watch everybody else and everything else explode around him while the Cowboys and the Jets had a bye week this week.
I've just been watching football this year. I've been more on my fantasies. It has been what player watching really this year. Those my players doing. I got one league that I damn near won last year. Fucking 2-5, man. This year is horrible. They added this a 14-team league, so
that's tough.
Like 7th pick or something. So yeah, it was a rough draft. So, but I got my 2 leagues that I doing. I just won in the JAFFO league again. Pulled that one off, and so climbing my way to the top. And then my other league at the top, and my Trader Joe's league at the top. So
there you go. Still, damn, 14 teams, and you had right smack dab in the fucking
in the middle. Yeah, I was like, man, damn. And then my players ain't been doing. So I got a couple good players, but everybody else team is stacked. So it's like no matter what I do, I fucking still lose. On paper, I got a winning team, but shit, so do everybody else. So do the other 13.
That's one of those types of league, 14-man league. If one of your main early draft pick starters goes down, your season is kind of fucked.
Yeah. Yep.
That's usually the case when it comes to those types of leagues. But I mean,
get out of here. I got to get to work.
Yep. I'm glad Mr. DJ Matt 6 decided to get. Hopefully, we were supposed to go at 9 this morning, but I had work. Kay had a meeting this morning. So just letting y'all know before Mad Sticks takes off, we are going to be moving our Tuesday schedule from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. This way on Tuesdays, we can have all 3 of us here. And on Fridays, when, Mad Sticks isn't having a gig and stuff like that, all 3 of us will be here too. So it was a way to get all of us on here at the same time because it just feels better when all 3 of us are on here. But since we started
Vegas, baby. Time to go to Vegas. Yeah. This weekend, it's all the cracking. Halloween weekend in Vegas. What kind of shit can I get into?
Hey, have you hit up everybody from the A7 that's out there?
No, not yet. Nope.
Like Scott and them boys?
Yeah,
we'll let them know.
Let them know, yeah.
Because I think Scott's in
I think he's on the Boston or somewhere.
Yeah, but I think he's in Boston right now.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
For some sort of work or something like that, I think. But yeah, I know Derek and everybody are still out there. So
Derek, Doug,
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest DJ on the fucking planet heading off to work right now. Appreciate you for coming on this morning, bro. We'll see you again soon.
Yup.
Oh, okay. Before we get into the next topic, here are ad from our friends over at Raise.
What's up, JAFFO Army? JP here of the All-Pro JAFFOs, bringing you a message from our proud partners over at Raise Energy. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring the consumer a powerful yet sustained energetic experience to help us put your workouts and focus in general to the very next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, Raise Energy has become the most popular, the best rated energy drink on the market to date, with a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most of the competitors just downright to shame. Powered by the enhanced Refresh technology, Raise Energy delivers with a performance-enhancing energy drink profile that aids in the most often overlooked categories, which include targeted focus, enhanced recovery time, as glycogen becomes depleted, improve clean energy levels, boost in stamina and in hydration. Most importantly, each can of Raise has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. You should not have to drink or settle for any other energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, opt for the smart choice with the #1 fan-voted energy drink on the planet with Raise Energy Drink. Use the promo code ALPHARAISE at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Demand more. Join the Raise Rebellion. Let them know the JAFFOs sent you.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to repsports.com and again using that promo code ALPHARAISE for 15% off of your order. Going back into it, where did we leave off? So Ravens handled the Lions. Man, Lamar went off 357 and 3 touchdowns. Damn, this is the most mortal the Lions have looked all year so far. Like that was kind of an ass kicking right there. And to be honest, I thought that it would be at least a little bit closer than that. 38-6 Ravens beating the Lions, bringing them down to earth just a little bit. Steelers taking on the Rams, winning 24-17. Let's see here. Cardinals losing to the Seahawks 20-10. The fuck? The Broncos beat the Packers. What the fuck is going on? What kind of week was this? Holy shit. 19-17 Chiefs beat handled the Chargers 31-17. And the Eagles, who just traded for Kevin Byard, 31-17 over Miami, who was hot all year long up until this point. But there were a lot of questions about that game. Apparently, the Eagles are kind of getting a little bit of the star treatment, and a couple of calls that should have been made were not made. Couple of holding calls. That roughing the passer call I thought was kind of bogus. But Miami? Could we see the league doing that to Miami? Especially with the story that they have so far? And by the way, your prediction, K, is going to come true about Tyreek Hill this year.
What, the 2000?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's just fast. I mean, that's pretty much the reason why he's going to get it. Just faster than everybody. And
I ran the wrong route and still. But speed kills, man.
I'm trying to tell you, he don't know how to run routes. He only had 3 routes, and it's pretty much the exact same shit. So, all right, there you go.
Man, getting 2,000 yards.
It is what it is. I mean,
3 routes is kind of impressive.
He got blown out by the Bills as well. I mean, Miami is just like a team that's just like they just super athletic. It's like the AAU team that's like, well, back in the day. Now it's like all of the teams are like that. Back in the day, it was like a super athletic team, but they didn't really know how to hoop. It's the same thing here. It's like they're super athletic, but really, when it comes down to it, Tua ain't gonna fucking break down no defenses. Tyreek not gonna route a top guy like that. He's just gonna outrun him. Like if it was a guy like if he had to go against Deion Sanders, he could not route Deion Sanders because Deion Sanders is just as fast as him, if not faster. You get what I'm saying? In his prime, like in his heyday and stuff.
Fair.
So
Deion ran a 4.2, so that's fair.
So you're not gonna route him, but Tyreek just fast everybody. So it's like we don't know. Like we don't have nobody with that speed that can be able to keep up with Tyreek on that level. So they have to like different things to like pretty much, you know what I mean, keep Tyreek in check and keep his speed in check. So that's pretty much what's going on. He ain't gonna like kill you with his route running.
Yeah, but then how do you battle the speed?
I mean, teams been doing it. They got blown out. Like I said, they got blown out already, and then they just lost this game. They granted they blamed it on the refs and stuff, but they didn't say nothing about the blowout they had earlier this season. They got blown out by the Bills. So there you go. It's like teams are still finding ways to beat them. Teams that actually say they matter in as far as the eyes of everybody that's saying it. So there you go. I mean, you can make controversy whatever that's going on, but the fact of the matter is the teams that y'all say is supposed to be up there with the Dolphins beat the Dolphins. So there you go.
A.J. Brown having another good game, 10 receptions for 137 and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift had 62 yards. It's a pretty decent game by the Eagles. Yeah. And then obviously the Monday night game last night, 22-17, Vikings over the Niners. And then bye week teams with the Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Panthers, and Texans. So going into week 8, come on, bring it up. Do you happen to know the Thursday night game? Why did that pop up? Holy shit. Computer's doing it again. There we go. Come on. Okay, here we go.
Is us versus the Bills.
Oh, the Bucks versus the Bills?
Yeah.
In Buffalo?
Yeah.
Intriguing. Two teams that, to be honest, if you kind of put them side by side together.
We're 2-1 on the road, by the way.
Teams are not that different. Yeah, they're not that different. I mean, both teams don't really have great running games. Both teams, the offensive line has been struggling.
Offensive line hasn't gave up sacks like that.
Well, that's true. Not like the Bills have. Yeah, that's definitely true. But I think the Bills have been trying to that's the thing with them. I think they don't have offensive line as a huge priority because of the fact that Josh Allen can run around. Basically, they have offensive linemen that can hold for like 2-3 seconds minimum, and then that's, kind of all. He's thrown 7 picks this year. Most of them were under pressure. having to roll out, having to do more than what he has to. He has no time really to be able to kind of sit in the pocket and actually make the reads. But again, I think the Bills are relying way too much on Josh Allen's athletic ability. And that's what's causing some of these problems. Now, when it comes to the Bucks, yeah, your offensive line hasn't been giving up sacks and stuff like that, but run game and everything, there's and then you're looking at it here, you guys are 2-0 at home, but the Bills are 3-1 at home. And then they got Buffalo at minus 8.5.
Yeah.
With the under over at 42.
Mm-hmm.
Man. 5:15 on prime time. Prime Video. God, bro, do you hate that?
Yeah.
Prime Video? Thursday Night
Yes.
Football?
I'm
That's just
answering your
annoying as
question.
fuck, bro.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch any games because I'm not going to fucking find Prime Video.
So I'm not getting Prime Video just to watch crappy Thursday Night Football.
But yeah, I heard you doing a good job out there, Sherm. So
Yeah.
you know,
And I mean, we'll get in predictions and stuff like that for the Sunday game. Say the what?
I think Joe Thomas is a part of that too. So I want to give kudos to Joe Thomas as well.
Just so you said Joe Thomas, and that just, I know this is hella random, but it just triggered something into my head. Because I also saw Mike Pouncey, a recent picture of it. So what is it about offensive linemen that once they retire, they basically become the size of like tight ends and receivers?
Well, both of them are small. First off, Mike and Keys, and I don't know, bro. I think the fact is they know how to work out and eat, and they have to like.
The diet change is different afterwards, huh? Because you have to basically maintain a certain weight. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like keep weight, and I think they work out to like, you know what I mean? I think they work out differently now, so they don't have to like do all the heavy lifting. It's more about just maintaining.
Honest,
so all of the heavy lifting goes away.
I think they still do the heavy lifting. I think it's the diet.
Well, the diet for sure is the big thing.
Yeah, because they stuff the hogs like, you know, send them out to buffets and stuff like that, trying to keep that weight up. But it's crazy, like the stark differences. Like they go from being these, 6'3", 6'4" plus, close to 300 pounds to down to 220. Or like,
yeah, I think you saw a picture of Keith, because Mike looked like a damn a Mexican goddamn war general, like a Mexican gangster war general. I'm telling you, got tats all over his head and shit. That boy look Mexican for sure, and he light skinned too. That's crazy. He only just black and white. He look Mexican. That's that time out here in San Diego.
Was it Mike or was it Keith that played for the Steelers?
Keith played for the Steelers. Mike played for the Dolphins and the Chargers.
Okay, then it was Keith then, because he was wearing a Steelers jersey in the photo that I saw.
Yeah, it was for sure Keith then, for sure.
Okay, yeah, because I saw Keith, I was like, holy fuck, he used to be like huge, like big dude, but now,
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Maintain that weight.
It's pretty wild. Like what's crazy?
They were always smaller
than
like they were big in high school, but they was like kind of smaller than all the other old linemen that was on our team. Like like Jeff Hardy was the biggest white dude. Like he was big as shit.
Yeah, but they were, when it comes to like intangibles of a pro offensive lineman, they were considered undersized, but they made up for it with the skill and the technique and everything else like that. But it's
I mean, based on the teams they ended up playing for, they were perfect because I mean, Keith ended up playing with Big Ben tall ass, and he was like, you know what I'm saying? Keith's decent height, so it was like perfect. And then Mike ended up with Phillip Rivers, so you know what I mean? Like for the rest of Phillip Rivers' time in San Diego, so that kind of like worked out, I guess. You know what I mean? As far as height wise.
I mean, but that's one that a lot of people don't realize that like teams fine players. It's kind of like a boxing match or whatever. If you don't make weight, you get a fine or some sort of disciplinary action comes your way. And that's how it is in the NFL with offensive linemen, defensive linemen. They have to maintain a certain weight. Otherwise, they could either get fined or get cut. So it's kind of, and that's why I look at it going like, damn, what it and I really do think it's a diet because I do remember going, through college and everything else like that. Everyone had or like the different skill positions, the different like everyone had their own different style of diets. Watching, going to Oregon camp and when I was a freshman in high school and them telling, explaining, yeah, the offensive line, they consume this many calories and this much protein, where the receivers take this much and this, like it's all based off position. The diets and stuff that they give you. Caleb, when he went to Tabor, or we're out there in Kansas, when he went there, he was shit. He wasn't even, 160 pounds, 170 maybe at the very, very most. And when he got to Tabor, they told him, you need to do this diet, this thing in order to gain the muscle, gain everything else like that. Because, quarterbacks, you need to have some size on you too. You can't just be 160 pounds and get blown up by defensive linemen and thinking you're going to be, healthy your entire career. And that's kind of what happened with Caleb. Was he a good quarterback? Yeah, he was smart, had a hell of an arm, but he was, in a lot of coaches' standards and stuff like that, he was undersized. He was tall, but he was undersized when it came to weight. So it left a little fear in some coaches. Say what?
I said I wish I could have saw Caleb in college. Like he just like every time I see Caleb, he reminds me of, I don't know the guy's name anymore because I ain't seen it in a while, but from Blue Mountain State, the quarterback that slacked off all the fucking time, but he was like nice as shit when it came down to it and they put him on the field. He was like actually fucking nice as fuck, but he just slacked off. Like he was the main character. Like that's who Caleb reminds me of.
Caleb was
I swear to you. I don't remember his name. There you go. He was a fucking drunk.
Caleb wasn't content on being a backup. He didn't like being a backup. That was the thing. That might be the only difference.
Right.
Everything else after that, yeah. It's pretty wow. God damn, that's a pretty good comparison.
And I didn't even see him in college. That's the crazy shit. That's just me. Me.
Yeah, no, but it's pretty much you're not wrong about it. It's and that's kind of one of the reasons why when he was in high school, his senior year, he moved to wide receiver. Because again, like he's quick. I think the fastest he ran, I want to say it was a 4.5, 4.6, somewhere around there.
Okay.
He's 6'3", but again, he's just lanky. He's 6'3", but he's 160 pounds soaking wet. 170. The guy can't gain weight if he wanted to. He literally has told me there are days he wishes he was fat. Like he wishes that he could just sit there like a goddamn beanbag chair and just, he wishes days like that were come to him.
Nah, he better chill on those, because those days gonna come, and when they come, knee pain come with it. I promise you, knee pain come with it. You don't want that shit, dog. I tell you right now, knee pain is a bitch. That's a bitch you don't want.
But that it is. And I tell him, like, dude, like, you don't want to be, because I mean, I've been trying to get down, and weight and everything, hitting the weight room and stuff. Went up on the bench, by the way. Fuck yeah. What's 215?
Just say what there are. How many plates you put on there?
2 plates and 2 10s. So
Two
that 235?
plates, like 245s?
Yeah.
Like, so 245s is 225.
On each side.
Yeah, that's 225. And then you say you put 2 10s?
So another 20. Okay, 245.
So you putting 2 10s on each side, or just 1 10 on each side?
1 10 on each side. So
okay, yeah. So yeah, you're correct. That is exactly how much that is.
So 245. Finally put that up. I'm able to do 315 on the squat and everything like that now.
Have you been doing the workout that I sent you?
I've been doing.
That's a full body thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't been doing that one. I've actually implemented some of them. I haven't been doing the full one, but some of the workouts I have been doing.
Oh, shit. As long as you've been doing it, I was just asking.
Yeah, but it's like me and the wife and something going in, getting trained, and she's getting stronger and everything else like that too. She's starting to get her,
hell yeah,
bulks and gains and everything else like that. She just went up in weight on the bench and stuff like that too, which I'm proud of her, because she wasn't really like bencher. Like when we got into doing like the chest days and stuff like that, that wasn't something that she really did. So, getting into it, and she's been busting her ass and, really trying to kind of like better herself, get stronger and everything else like that. So seeing her getting in there, and, she just got up to 25s on each side.
Hell yeah.
So she's going up. She's feeling the soreness and everything too, which is nice. It's pretty cool. So, it's been one of those like pretty cool experiences to get in there and kind of, but it was, and I told Kate, and it kind of goes back to telling Caleb, me, I wasn't, again, I was like 275, 280, at my worst. And, I was telling him, I was like, I was not happy like that. Was just not, so I getting into the gym, doing everything. Like now I feel a little bit better about, like, there's still a bit of a ways to go, but I feel a whole hell of a lot better than I did. So that's why I tell him, it's like, man,
hell yeah.
It's like, I don't think you mean what you say, because you have no idea.
Yeah, you haven't felt the fall.
Kay ain't lying. The knee pains and everything that come with it, and it just, be happy where you're at, bro. Be happy where you're at. Keep working out.
My absolute worst in life, I was so close to 400 pounds, it wasn't funny. Yeah, like that was my worst. I'm not nowhere near that shit now, but I'm just saying that was my worst. And me just doing what I'm doing, it's like I haven't hit my stride yet, because I'm still, working out / rehabbing injuries. Like, like I got a goddamn checkup for my fucking injury and shit like that, for like the whole glute and all that situation. So it's like I'm literally strapping up right now as we speak to get turn on my stem. So like
Stem feels so nice.
Oh yeah. Well, I bought this shit when I was working at Stanford. So I've had this.
Is one of the best
for years.
Feelings. I'm like, I know people are like, what the hell? It's rehab. What is that? Yeah, but stem was the best part about rehab, honestly. Like I put stem on my knee right now, and I feel like I'll feel good about it.
Well, yeah, with this machine right here, this one is a lot. It's a lot more focused on with the rehab aspect. But as far as like trying to build and get everything together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get all your muscles and all that around that, so your injury, you know what I mean, isn't a factor, and you're strengthening at the same damn time. And they got different programs with this one. I'm not doing this program justice at all, but just to give a full, very brief description of just this specifically, and just how amazing this fucker has been for me. You know what I mean? Like, I was able to come off of my injury personally. I tore my ACL. We talked about it on our early episodes, but for any new fans, I tore my ACL in 2016. I was playing semi-pro ball, had a pro tryout and all that jazz. Didn't work out. Then so I ended up tearing my ACL after the season, in between seasons. So in the off season of semi-pro. And then I didn't play 2017, and then I came back 2018. So with this machine, I was able to rehab. One, I was able to get back to work in 3 months, and back heavy lifting work, because I had 2 jobs. I was working at Stanford, so the whole time I was hurt in a cast of shit. But I was able to get back to heavy lifting work in 3 months, and I played that next season, 2018 season. I was able to get 20 sacks. So they're able to help me play better than I was able to play before.
Kids, go get that stem machine if you can. It helps break down the scar tissue, gets the blood flow and everything like that going. You know, for that's why it's one of the mainstays in the rehab world. So go get that looked at. Even if you're not hurt, even if you're not injured or anything else like that, it's a really good recovery tool. As well. So go check that out if you can, or go to your trainer and be like, hey, let me get some stem. If you're there at San Jose State, is Arnold still over there at City?
I have no clue, but that's just if you have the access to it. If you don't, they have other resources. Like they have some very cheaper models. They're still helpful. So don't make it seem like the money is the thing. They have them at Walmart, and they have them at Target as well, so in the pharmacy department. So you can get with your parents, make sure it's safe for you, get with your doctors, make sure everything's safe for you kids before you start touching anything like that. Educate yourself as well. I would say that. But as far as grown ass people, adults, or young adults, like if you're in a collegiate situation, you have your own access and your own mind, research up on it. They got some at Walmart, Target, stuff like that. You can get yourself together. You know what I mean?
Yep. Before we move into the next little conversation that we're about to have, here's a message from our friends over at Bud Love.
What if I told you that Bud gets better? Introducing Bud Love, the long-awaited herbal blend that's designed to be mixed with your favorite bud and enjoyed together, like the mixer in a cocktail. Bud Love is made from marshmallow leaf, an ancient medicinal herb, the mother cannabinoid, CBG, and rich natural flavors, including terpenes. Offering a wide variety of premium herbal plus mixers to complement your favorite strains. Why? Because every bud needs some love. Our carefully formulated blends improve your experience, complementing your favorite flower and bringing out its best qualities. Many bud lovers even report that it helps reduce unwanted side effects like worry, and instead creates a happy, zen feeling. Bud Love contains no cannabis or nicotine. It won't give you a buzz on its own, but when consumed together, it reduces the amount of bud needed to get the feeling you love, allowing your precious flower to last even longer. Bud Love is best enjoyed with your first bud of the day, carefully paired with your favorite strain. Choose from a variety of delicious flavors, ranging from classic to more fruity to natural, as well as tobacco flavored for those who enjoy a spliff. Mix Bud Love and flower in whatever amounts work best for you for a perfect buzz. Whether you're chilling with friends, attending a social event, or going for a hike, experiment and find your own love ratio. Bud Love's unique blends allow you to craft a happier, smoother, and more personalized experience. If you love Bud, then Bud Love is for you. Try it today and help us tell the world that Bud does in fact get better. with Bud Love.
Just go to budlove.com and use the promo code JAFFO Army and PvP Family for 15% off your first order. Going into college football real quick, I wanted to ask you a quick question. I'm wondering if this makes any sense for anybody else because it made no sense to me. Caleb Williams, quarterback for USC. They just lost to Utah again. He hasn't beaten Utah at all in his tenure there at USC. But I wanted to ask you this because I don't see it, but maybe you do and you can enlighten me. They're calling Caleb Williams the greatest NFL draft prospect ever. And now I feel like that's been getting to the head to the point where he literally said that whatever team that drafts him, he wants ownership stake in it. And again, I don't see it, but who the fuck is going to do that for him? You're a rookie. If somebody's going to give you ownership stake, that's going to entail you will be with that team for your entire career, which is never a guarantee. And yet, a very few and far between in the NFL do players stick with the same team throughout their entire career. It doesn't happen very often. But this last game against Utah, it's. Are you seeing what the hype is all about?
No.
Like I don't
trying to wage his. He just trying to wage his leverage. That's all it was. He was just trying to wage his leverage and see what he can do. You know what I mean? Like I think that's kind of what he's just like. Oh, if I don't get this, I'm gonna stay in college. Well, stay in college another year because you ain't showed nobody shit yet. Because there's still other guys that's out there winning games that's more impressive than you right now. Especially you. I don't know. You just have different games that you can pinpoint that you really haven't played up to the standard that you're making it seem like you're supposed to be better than Trevor. Like you got to think about guys that came out in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? I was going to mention like Trevor Lawrence and like Bryce and all these boys that just came out, and it's like, you got to think about these guys that came out in the last 5 years. Are you even better than these guys? And it's like, look what they got. It's like, how do you expect that you're going to get so much that guys like Brady ain't even got? like, how do you expect to just surpass people that's vets and things like that? Because you ain't showing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't just taking USC, y'all undefeated every year, y'all winning rings. Like, if you was Georgia, like, if you was at Georgia, like, just out here killing it, being you the sole reason why y'all winning. All right, cool. Then you can start talking that shit. But it's like, you ain't even that. Like, y'all ain't even winning games like that.
I'd said it when we had that conversation with Corey, going like, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he sucked, but he hasn't really played anybody. And this is when I said it. He hasn't played anybody up until this point for me to think that, oh yeah, this guy is the guy. And these last few weeks, especially with these two losses, kind of confirmed that for me. Going, all right, yeah, there's a whole hell of a lot of hype behind him, but coming out of high school, was he a 5-star coming out of high school? I don't think so. I've looked at top 5 high school recruits of all time, like the highest graded. He ain't on that top 10. So I'm trying to figure out where that narrative came from of he's the greatest draft prospect of all time. Because to me, if you're going to be the greatest draft prospect of all time, okay, like you said, you need to be winning rings. You need to be winning games. Like it needs to be because of you that you're winning games and stuff. He got the Heisman Trophy last year, and all of a sudden, he's God's gift to football. And then he goes out and plays against, actual legit teams. Because I'm sorry, whoever doesn't think Utah is an actual like legit team, you haven't been watching college football, for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years. They've always been a pretty solid team. Now, are they going, winning national championships and doing all that? Like, no, they're not doing that, but they're a solid team. And, he hasn't been able to beat them all 3 years that he's been there. And I don't know. And he threw for 256. It's not even like he was having himself a game and then like the defense or something just screwed up on him or whatever. Like he threw for 256 and no touchdowns, no rushing touchdowns, no passing, like no nothing. So I'm trying to figure. I'm still sitting here going, I like the kid from Washington. Was it Phoenix Jr.?
No, Penix, Michael Penix
Penix.
Jr.
Sorry, Penix. I keep saying Phoenix for some reason, but Penix Jr. He's more impressive to me, even though this game against Arizona State, that was probably the worst game that he's had all season long. They still came up, with the victory 15-7. But I like him more than I like Caleb Williams coming out. I kind of like, God damn it, what's that kid from is it Washington State? What was it got? Charlie Ward Jr. Is that who that is? Yeah.
I think
Washington
so.
State. Yeah. I like him more than I like Caleb Williams right now. Cameron Ward. I'm sorry. Not Charlie Ward. Cameron Ward. I see the C in Ward and I think Charlie Ward for some reason. But it's like I like what he's been doing more than I'd like to see what Caleb Williams has been doing. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the hype. I don't know if it's intangibles. I don't know if it because early on during the season you can see that these throws are like, oh man, the elite level throws and this. I'm like, yeah, but who's he playing? He's not playing anybody that's really worth mentioning. Up until this point, I don't even think USC played a ranked team up until this point. Let me look at the schedule real quick. They had trouble against San Jose State. They had trouble.
Colorado was ranked when they played them.
Okay, Colorado was ranked when they played them. Okay. USC is number 24 now. Wow. Okay. See, okay, so Colorado was the only ranked team at that time, 48-41. Colorado almost came back. But outside of that, they played San Jose State. They had trouble up until the last two quarters. They played Nevada. They had trouble with Nevada. I mean, the score says 66-14, but they had trouble with Nevada the first quarter and a half of that game. Beating Stanford. Stanford's not great. Arizona State's not that great. Colorado, there was a lot of hype around Colorado at that point. Now, not so much, but there was a win there, 48-41. Narrowly escaped Arizona, 43-41. So already you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to include Colorado because at that time so you got 5 out of the last six teams of their W's. They weren't ranked. They're not. I mean, they're not in anybody's discussion of college football playoff. And then you go and play Notre Dame, get your ass kicked by Notre Dame. And then you play Utah, and Caleb Williams drops a goose egg on his fucking stats. It's like when you start to play ranked teams, you're seeing what USC really is and what Caleb Williams really is. And to me, at this point, if he ends up turning up wrong, cool. I'm glad to be, proven wrong at this point. But I'm kind of thinking Caleb Williams is a little bit of a fraud. There's some fraudulent shit that I'm seeing right now. And nothing that I've been seeing has been thinking whatsoever that Caleb Williams is the top guy. That he's the best, best prospect of all time. Like I don't believe it. I don't believe that hype whatsoever. So it seems fraudulent. It seems like they might have, NCAA or the mainstream media or whatever, they were desperately looking for somebody to cling on to hype up and everything else like that for the upcoming draft and stuff. And compared to everyone else, Caleb Williams was kind of the guy that, oh, okay, this is the guy we can latch our, wagon to. And he's, but this is where I have a problem with a lot of the mainstream media considering and giving all these kids these labels and everything else like that of throwing all the pressure and stuff like that on them. It's and it's always the same thing. Oh yeah, greatest thing to ever happen. But then the mainstream media would turn on them quicker than they ever fucking jumped on the wagon. Now Caleb Williams is Dak Prescott to everybody. Where was that? Like, hold on. You were just saying he was the greatest quarterback prospect of all time. Now all of a sudden he's Dak Prescott? Like, what happened? What happened to the hype? What happened to what happened to the GOAT talk? And it's funny, right after he gets done saying he wants he wants owner stock in whatever team that drafts him, 2 L's in a row. That's why I don't know if he fell victim to the hype or he fell victim to his own fucking ego. But whatever it is, I'm not seeing at all what anybody else is seeing about Caleb Williams. Can he make good throws? Cool. Yeah. Is he, intangibles wise, does he have good size and everything like that? Yeah, cool. But anything outside of that, there hasn't been much for me to be like, I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm not going to be sitting here calling him like, oh, yeah, greatest prospect of all time. He wasn't even fucking a top 10 prospect coming out of high school. We were talking about all time, rankings at the quarterback position. Caleb Williams wasn't on that list. Nobody was talking about Caleb Williams becoming this great prospect until he won the Heisman at USC, which I don't think he should have won the Heisman. Actually, I kind of think it should have gone to Bryce, but that's another argument for another day. But you give him a Heisman Trophy his sophomore year, and now all of a sudden he's God's gift to college football and possibly the NFL. Is he a better prospect than what Trevor Lawrence was? I don't think so. Is he, is he a better prospect than, let's use another example. Coming out of college, top, prospects and stuff like that are at the quarterback position. Is he better than Mahomes? Fuck no. Was he better than Josh Allen?
Well, I mean, you looking in retrospect, Mahomes went low. He went like mid round, right? Or
No, he went 15th. Right? He went 15th overall.
Yeah, like that's.
But other guys went ahead of him. Is even coming out of college into the NFL as a prospect, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes was a way better prospect, even coming out of Texas Tech, than Caleb Williams. The arm strength, all that other kind of stuff that was all there. Josh Allen.
You think he's better than Kyler?
Than who?
You think you're better than Kyler?
Colin? Like Colin Kaepernick?
Kyler.
Oh, Kyler Murray.
Because Kyler Murray had baseball, same as Pat, and he was a top pick on both. He actually had leverage to do that kind of shit.
To be honest, I think Kyler Murray and this, people, especially Texas fans, are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I should have no respect for Kyler Murray because he's from Oklahoma. But if we're talking about who was the better prospect here coming out, Kyler Murray was a better prospect than Caleb Williams was. And he doesn't have the intangibles that Caleb Williams does. So, like, I don't think he's a better prospect than Kyler Murray. I don't think he's a better prospect than Trevor Lawrence. Who else was like I just don't, especially like you said, the QB classes the last 5 years and stuff like that. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm in the wrong, or maybe I'm just not in tuned, I guess, to what the experts are saying. I don't even want to call them fucking experts because they take all of our shit all the time. If anything, we're the experts on what the hell is going on because they keep taking our fucking talking points the whole time. But regardless of that, I mean, I don't know, man. They're number 24 now. Their college football playoff hopes are done. And I don't know, man. I don't see the hype. I don't see why he even thought that it would be a good idea to put that out there about I want ownership stake in whatever team drafts me. Like that to me, and I don't know about you, but if I was a head coach of an NFL team and I saw that, I wouldn't want him on my team. I wouldn't want him on my team. Whatever it is that the intangibles, good stat, whatever the fuck. I don't want. He's like it reminds me a bit of uh Draft Day, Bo on Draft Day, the movie. All the intangibles, all the hype and everything in the world, but what was the one thing that get him to drop? His fucking ego. And that's where I'm seeing this. His ego is counting checks, his ass can't cash. And I'm really at a point right now where if we're going to be starting to give these tags and all this other kind of stuff to these athletes, at least, be efficient in what you're looking at and what you're seeing and be consistent. Because these media, they'll say whatever it is that they want to say to get, the clickbaits and all that other kind of shit. They'll say all of that and they'll turn on them quicker. But I'm looking at this going, is Caleb Williams maybe the top quarterback in this draft? Possibly. All time? Nah. Nah. Not for me. Not for me. That's a no for me, dog. That's a no for me. Let's see. Michigan 49-0. Number 2, Ohio State beats Penn State 20-12. Florida State still going 38-20. Washington, we just went over that 15-7, number 5 team. The Oklahoma Sooners winning 31-29 over UCF. That might get them to drop actually from 6 to I don't know, maybe 7 or 8. Losing or winning by 3 points to a shitty team. That's not a good look. Texas beat Houston 31-24. Same thing. I mean, but Texas went up. They're number 7 now. Oregon, Washington State 38-24. Virginia upsets North Carolina, and that's another quarterback in Drake May that I don't understand the hype. I don't understand what it is about North Carolina and Duke quarterbacks, but whatever people are seeing in them, I ain't seeing. And getting beat by Virginia, a 2-5 team, 1-2 in the ACC, 31-27 on your home field. Yeesh, not good. Alabama, God, it's weird seeing 2 digits in their rankings. 34-20 over Tennessee. Ole Miss beating Auburn 28-21. Utah, again taking out USC 34-32. LSU beating the dog shit out of Army 62-0. Here's a quick question, okay? our armed forces, some of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Yet when it comes to the game of football, it just doesn't. With the amount of training, with the amount of stuff that they do, you would think that they'd be a little bit better, but they're not. When's the last time? Shit, I think Army won a national championship back in like the 20s. I mean, that long ago. I don't know, man. That stuff to me, I could go like they should be a lot better than what they have been or what they are. Navy especially too.
Well, they had a
Missouri.
guy last year that he was trying to go to the draft. I don't know if he was a part of the Navy, Army, or Air Force. I don't know what branch he was a part of, but he was really good last year, and he was trying to do that, but he wasn't able because of he had to go, do his service.
At least the 4-year minimum. Yep.
Yeah,
that was a
so
Navy guy.
they have guys, but it's like they gotta do their service, and after that, it's like sometimes some guys don't even have a want to even go do that anymore in college or go do all of that stuff at that point. So I mean, a lot of things like that happen, or it's like they just want to continue serving a country.
Yep, that too. I mean, because there have been times where players either from Army or Navy or Air Force, where they're good enough to be, considered draft prospects and everything else like that. It's very rare that it happens, but they'll get like a kind of like a pass, from having to do the 4-year service. Very rarely does that ever happen, but I guess if they're good enough, then yeah, it could happen, because that happened with the Navy quarterback a couple of years ago. Doing really good, making a name for himself. I think he's a wide receiver in the league and stuff like that now, but he was one of those, like he was good enough to get drafted, and they waived his 4-year service minimum. So it's not out of the ordinary that it or that it can happen. It's just very rare. Sounded like a contradiction all in itself, but moving on. Missouri, 34-12 over South Carolina. Air Force, we're talking about military, playing Air Force played Navy. Okay. Air Force is actually number 22. They're 7-0 right now. 17-6 over Navy. Still running. Are all 3 military branches still running that wishbone triple option?
I don't know the schemes they running, but if they number 22, then I don't think so.
They might be doing a little bit more than that, huh? I mean, their quarterback, 151 yards through the air. Probably running a lot. And
yeah, they might be.
90 of those yards, or actually, no, that's 94 of those yards. Hold on. Quarterback threw for 151 yards and a touchdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
That touchdown came to one receiver. He had one reception with 94 yards, so it was a 94-yard touchdown catch. That made up for.
He caught a slant or a goddamn hook or a fucking stop, or he caught something short and got busy. Holy hell! Or fucking bubble screen.
I think it's safe to say that they're still running the triple option.
I don't know, but that's still crazy. That could happen. That could happen in any offense, though. That could be a West Coast offense. Easy West Coast offense. You just caught deep. You caught deep on a fucking 3rd and long. Got some penalties, and you
looks like their defense has been one of the main reasons why they've been doing good. So they put the finishing touches on Navy with a pick 6, and then Tulane, 35-28 over North Texas. Minnesota, 12-10, beating number 24 Iowa, which I guess considered an upset. UCLA.
Hold on. So you said that was the Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota, Iowa.
So they was talking about that
Golden
shit on Pat
Gophers
McAfee
versus the
show.
Hawkeyes.
They was talking about that shit on Pat McAfee show. So I was able to see the fucking controversial call, the little punt play. That was some bullshit. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That was some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. That was some bullshit. So it was basically they said that the kid called a fair catch.
Yeah. Did he? I don't think he did.
Nah, I don't think he did.
Like his arm, when I was watching it, his arm never did this.
Yeah, he never
Never went
waved up,
above
but
his
he
head.
was basically
He was going
he
like
was
this,
talking.
like get away.
Yeah, he was telling the other guys to get away from the ball, but that's crazy.
Yeah, that wasn't a. Yeah, Iowa probably should have won that game. Honestly.
Well, because he returned that shit for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a touchdown. That
That's
even says it right
crazy.
here. Iowa's go-ahead touchdown wiped off after a fair catch call. Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And then UCLA, just dog walking Stanford 42-7 at the end of that game. So college football has been getting a little interesting going through the midway point. We're gonna try and see if we can get Mr. Ojeda on the show soon, so he can talk about his travels and everything else like that, and then what he's seen so far during the college football season. But we'll see. See, I'm actually gonna get a hold of him. I'm trying and today. We'll see if we can maybe get him on Friday. Maybe do some. I don't think he can do any predictions or something like that. Him being a scout, but at least he can give us some tidbits on what he's seen, players that he's impressed with, and stuff like that. And maybe I can ask him, too, if he sees the same thing, or if he sees something in Caleb Williams and stuff that I'm not seeing, because I know he scouted the USC Colorado game. I'm pretty sure he's done at least one more I think he did the USC, or he's going to do the USC Oregon game. So we'll see how that goes down. But yeah, it'll be interesting to talk to him to see what his midpoint takes are. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we do appreciate the hell out of you guys hanging out with us this morning. I know that's a little bit odd for us to be saying on the show, but again, we are going to be still going Tuesdays and Fridays, but it's going to be Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. and Friday staying at the same time, 7 p.m. So be with us Tuesdays, be with us Fridays. Thursdays, the Ring Psychology Podcast with myself and Dub. We just had Mab on with us the last show. Few cool things and stuff coming out of that. So be on the lookout for everything. You guys see all the social medias and everything where you can catch us on YouTube, Pernada Bros Productions, Facebook, Pernada Bros Productions as well, and everywhere else. The All Pro JAFFOs. Go ahead and check it out. We appreciate you guys again for hanging out with us. For myself, JP, for the 610 Beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K, for the greatest DJ in the world, Mr. DJ Madsticks. We'll see you guys on Friday. Deuces.